Hi and welcome back to another video. So today we'll be talking about something that gets ignored very often and people just don't seem to see the immediate impact of this quality. However, this is really important to consider both in your professional as well as personal life. So today we'll be discussing the importance of empathy. Now, first of all, let's try to understand what is empathy. You must have heard this very famous saying that empathy is to put yourself in the other person's shoes. To simplify this means nothing but to have consideration for the other person and to try to understand what are they going through. So if I have empathy, I would try to imagine myself in that person's position and I would think, how would I feel if I were in that situation and what would I be going through? And then considering all of this, I would take an action which would be customized for the person's situation and I would try to present a resolution for this. Now, a lot of times people also ask, well, what's the difference between sympathy and empathy? So sympathy is a more emotion-based feeling or reaction, and empathy is more action-driven. So in empathy, you would try to understand the other person's situation also, but you would still try to give them a resolution or move them in a direction that is more solution based. So now that we've understood what empathy basically means, let's try to discuss this a little further. So I think firstly, empathy can be divided into two broad parts. One is empathy at work and the second is empathy when it comes to yourself. So first let's discuss how empathy applies at work. Now we can still divide it into three different parts. So one is empathy within your team or within your organization. Second is empathy towards your customers. So these could be the customers that you are dealing with every day and what your work profile generally includes you to talk to. And third is empathy towards your client or the stakeholders or the people that you're ultimately answerable to. So first let's discuss empathy within your team or within your organization. Now, like I told you in the beginning, empathy means consideration and understanding. You can even say that empathy basically means kindness. So when you're kind and when you're nice to others, when you try to understand what they're going through, you can present it in a professional way or kind of customize it in a professional setting. And if you're still nice to people, you're kind to them, you consider what they're going through, then you're basically practicing empathy. So we've talked about these qualities in the past videos as well, where when you are a part of a team, you can be empathetic towards your team members, you look out for them, you try to understand what they're going through, and then how you respond in certain situations when they are going through something difficult also defines how empathetic you are. Similarly, when you are dealing with your customers, so this could be your day-to-day job where maybe you are replying to an email or you are returning a phone call where one of your customers is in distress, they're going through something really difficult, and let's say according to your job profile you may not be able to give them the solution that they are looking for. Then let's not be a robot or let's not be shackled in the chains of professionalism so much that you outrightly say, no, sorry, I can't help you, this is outside my job profile, or this is beyond my let's say the approvals that I have or my authority, so I can't do anything about it. So we don't have to limit ourselves like that. You should consider the other person's situation and say things that would help them calm down and console them, and say something like, of course I understand that you're going through this. Now there are some cliched sentences also. For example, I completely understand what you're going through. So this may not apply to all situations. Just be real just try to understand the situation on ground and say something that is natural. If you can actually understand the situation and you feel consideration towards the other person, then say something like that. So say something like, well, of course this seems like a big problem and I would have reacted the same way. Let me see what I can do about this. So using sentences that are that would be assuring to the customer will help you in these situations. So use that, and by using empathy you can kind of cushion a harsh situation or a harsh fall, and you can give them the resolution which may be slightly more customized. And I think if you do that, then it is the best way to service your customers, when you are not applying the same solution to everyone as a blanket solution, but you're trying to understand each person or each customer's situation and giving slightly customized solution to their problems. Now, the third person that I talked about, or the third stakeholder, was your client. Now, this could be on a bigger level in your organization and the client that you answer to. In their situation also, you should be empathetic and look at things from a bigger picture, not just yourself, but from an organization's point of view and also their point of view. So what are their concerns and where are they coming from? So if they have a question or if they have a complication, are you able to understand why they are worried about that? What is it that their concerns are? And when you try to understand it from their perspective, it is possible that you will be able to come up with a better solution. And when we talk about empathy in your personal life, then I would connect it more to something that is the purpose of your life. Now, you must know about companies and how they have something called CSR, which is corporate social responsibility. So most multinational organizations have a partnership with some sort of charity where they want to give back to the community, they want to do something good, they want to donate something or make a difference. Now, in the same sense, do we have something like that? Do we have a social responsibility, and do we want to be involved in charity or by doing something that would complete me as a person? So this is what I think empathy means in life. It is to be kind and to find the purpose in your life. I actually read a very interesting quote. I think it was a quote. It basically made a pie chart out of the priorities of your life, and it said something on the lines of how your life should be divided in a way that you spend a big chunk of your life on earning money and giving time to your job, and then some part of it should go into a passion or a hobby and doing something that you really enjoy. And then also you're saving some part of your time and some part of your life that you're dedicating to a cause that is important to you. Because when you practice charity, when you do something that is selfless and that you're doing as a social responsibility, then it helps you to develop character more. According to a Harvard Business School paper called Feeling Good About Giving, which is also about practicing charitable behavior, it talks about how by giving you feel good about yourself. And these days there are a lot of people who say, well, I love my job, I am living a very good life, I have a decent salary, I have a good lifestyle, but I still kind of feel incomplete and I feel like I'm not truly happy in life. Then I feel like by practicing charitable behavior, when you dedicate some time to doing something that may be close to your heart, it could be something related to helping children or the elderly or animals or conserving nature, whatever this may be. If it is your calling, if it is something that you can relate to and something that will bring you satisfaction, then I think it is really important to also dedicate some time to some of these activities and to attach yourself to some sort of charitable behavior. And I truly believe that when you practice charity, it completes you as a person and it adds a lot of value to your character development. So this is something that I would urge you to think about. So to end this video, I would like to talk about one of my most favorite quotes by His Holiness Dalai Lama, and this very profound quote where he talks about how this planet does not need any more successful people, it needs healers and lovers. So I completely agree with this. I feel like the fast-paced lives that we live these days and just the sheer competitiveness that we have, which is almost like do or die, I feel like we need to tone this down a little bit. And whether it's at work, so when I talked about empathy at work, you would see that the most successful people who are on top, even though they have that fire in their belly and they are extremely ambitious and they could be competitive as well, but they are not rude people and they would not misbehave with other people, and they always have the philosophy that you do not need to get on top by climbing on other people, but while taking them with you and helping them along the way. So I feel like it's really important for us to practice empathy at work, whether within the organization or with our stakeholders and clients. And also in personal life, I think it would bring us more happiness and make the world a better place. So I hope that you are able to think about what I discussed today in this video and you're able to find some sense of purpose. Maybe you already have something but you're not able to devote time to it. So maybe we should reprioritize our lives in a way that we realize what is important in life and what are some of the things that we should be practicing at work and at home. So please let me know in the comments below if you thought of something or if this video helped you realize something, and what is the charity that you prefer, or what is the purpose in your life. I would love to know that. So if this video made sense to you, please comment below, and if it seems like a good idea, then you can share it as well. So I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.